Welcome to Silicon Valley Impact, where business insight meets startup innovation. Brought to you live from Silicon Valley, California. Please give a warm welcome for your host, Brian Sparks.
Without losing a beat, Brian, you are on point.
I just told you I was a little rusty because we haven't been here for a couple weeks, and and I feel like I came out strong. Like I came here and I brought it. So good for us.
Yeah. You took that deep breath right when the music dropped. You were ready, and
thank you. Yeah. It's like it's like riding a bike.
The vacation did you good? You've been overseas for a while.
I was overseas. We were in Denmark. We had a great time. It was wonderful. Family, friends, food. You know, it's a beautiful place. Motorcycle. It was awesome.
Good times. Well, welcome back. Good to see you.
Thank you, Brian. What have you been up to before? I can see you getting ready to go. So tell me a little bit about what you've been up to, because you were someplace last week that we're going to, we will have run last week. So
that airs this? Yeah, something like, that's the bounce. But
tell me about it. Where were you? What'd you do?
So we were at STEP, San Francisco.
What does STEP stand for?
So I think it's just STEP, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's not an acronym.
It's just an acronym, but great conference. They hold it in San Francisco and Dubai, I believe. You guys probably know that. We were, I saw Naveen there. You were there. Had a great time. We'll talk a little bit about that. But I got to moderate a great panel, and that came out last week.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Check that out. An incredible panel.
Speaking of which, I just want to point to people, if you're listening to this show, we would like to offer you the opportunity to watch this show. So you can look up Silicon Valley Impact on YouTube, and you can see all of the action and put faces to the names. And if you do go to YouTube, or if you are on YouTube now, we would like you to hit that subscribe button, please. It helps us to gain traction and influence the greater algorithms of life.
Well put, Brian.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and before I get too far beyond STEP San Francisco, I want to thank all the folks out there who invited me to moderate that panel. Again, STEP San Francisco is here once a year, usually on August, and then they do Dubai. Do you guys know when?
November.
In November?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's actually coming up. So we'll share a little bit more information about when that's coming up too. But thanks to a great event out in San Francisco. But Brian, we got some more news as well.
Yeah, what do you got?
I just got asked to host with AJ Thomas the IIT conference for 2026.
With AJ Thomas.
Yeah.
We love AJ.
Yeah, so if you want to learn
Can
more
I say badass on the radio?
Marianne, you can say whatever you like.
Marianne. Yeah. I don't know why I got them confused all of a sudden. Yeah. But thank you for correcting me, Brian. That makes me feel good. I'm going to do it
Can
again.
I say badass on the radio?
Every time, Marianne. Thank you so much for chiming in. But yeah, if you want to learn more about the IIT conference in 2026, it's big. It's going to be down in Newport. Go to iit.com and you can definitely learn some more about what we're going on there. We've got guests like Guy Kawasaki. Past guests include Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, big names, big conference, great time. 4-day conference, right, Naveen?
Yes.
Yeah, you've been to it, huh?
Yeah, in many.
Yeah, they're good.
It's one of the, it's MIT of India, IIT.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So we'll share a little bit more as that gets closer. But right now, the early bird special is going on. You're not going to want to miss going to this event and save a little money. So go check it out. All right. With that being said, we got a full house. You can't see Abdul, but he's sitting, chomping at the bit, waiting his turn, just off camera. But yeah, there he is.
There he is.
For all of you on YouTube, you can see him. But he'll be joining us in a second. But we have Mohammed, William, Naveen. I will let my guest, as usual. Brian, go ahead. I see you.
Well, I don't know what the purpose of this show is, Brian. How would I know what we're doing if I don't know the purpose of the show? Right? I mean, everybody's just waiting with bated breath to understand what the purpose of this show is.
Brian.
What
have I done? What have I done? Where are my manners?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Please get it set up for us.
Okay. Well, I want to welcome everybody to Silicon Valley Impact. I'm your host, Brian Sparks. The purpose of the show is to have honest conversations about what it takes to build great businesses and communities so that you can make an impact.
within your own. Thank you. I needed my spot there.
I've been on vacation a little bit too long.
You're turning a little red. I can see it.
I had to catch my breath on that one. I'm going to wipe my brow of embarrassment for my amazing guests.
How
can I impact the world with this? Okay.
All right, let's get moving forward.
Where am I?
I'm done now.
Okay. All right, let's get on with the show. All right. Well, I want to welcome in Mohammad, William, Naveen, Abdul. Abdul will join us in the second half, but he's here listening and participating. But Mohammad, man, I'm good. I'm glad you're finally here because you're building some cool things. So we'll start with you, an introduction, and work our way down. But give a little intro to our audience about who you are and what you're working on.
Thank you, Brian, for having me. So my name is Mohammad Hasham. I'm a partner at CohnReznick, part of the Capital Markets and IPO practice. I've been in the Valley for about 11 years. Before that, I was in Toronto, Canada. So about 17 years of experience. In terms of what I do is, I help startups all the way to public companies. So we also do a lot of pre-IPO work. So I'm specialized in the accounting advisory space, so kind of helping companies prepare for audit readiness, public company readiness. And once they're public, we help them with SEC filings and accounting support. Aside from that, I also run a community called American Founders and Leaders Community, which we kind of inaugurated about a couple of months ago. And it became really big all of a sudden. We hosted our first event last week where we had about more than 140 people.
Nice.
So very high caliber founders, investors, VCs. And now we're looking to host this every quarter. So the next one's going to be in December.
Yeah, but you're no spring chicken to events and community buildings. This is not something you just rolled out of bed a few months ago. You've been actively building your community. You just put it in a container and it really just kind of took off. Is that what I'm hearing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing a lot of these event building, more like 20 to 25 people dinners.
Yeah.
Over time, but we never really put like a community name and branding around it.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the first time where we really put a name and brand behind this community and really now working towards making it bigger and better.
Yeah, and it's incredible. We'll talk a little bit about that and why, that is so important to building a business and community and moving things forward because you've done a phenomenal job. We'll talk a little bit more about that. William, good to see you, man. I love what you're doing with your hair.
Great to be here. Thank you. I call it the William.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been going with this style for about 15 years. It works for me.
Okay. Yeah, it looks good on you. I've been doing this since I was about 12. So yeah.
Well, I could no longer.
Yeah, my hair left me at 8, and so I said at 12 I'm going to start shaving.
There's something unsettling about that.
I just finally got annoyed with having to pay like $40 to have my hair cut.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and I have to tip on top of that. It's like, that's crazy. So I bought a $20 clipper.
Yeah, razors go a long way. So tell us what you're working on. Give a little intro about yourself to our audience.
I'm William Reed. I am the CEO of Shoebox IQ, which is an AI startup for audit preparation. So it is no surprise that Mohammad is sitting next to me because he is one of our advisors. And then hopefully, Naveen, you will be one of our investors at some point.
Letting it rip live here on Silicon Valley Impact.
And I'll say it all happened here at Silicon Valley Impact. But prior to that, I did a lot of work with startups, especially in fintech, cratered a few. And then prior to that, I also worked in corporate America in financial technology at American Express, Fiserv, First Data, PayPal, and Visa.
Love it. All right. A lot of experience in the corporate land. So we'll come back to what you're building now, what possessed you to turn the corner and go into the world of startup and what your journey has been like. So we'll dive into that, but welcome to the show. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Naveen, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. I've been trying to get you here for a while, ever since the Ignite events. Saw you at Step, and then we just made it happen. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. And thank you very much for inviting me. Truly excited to, meet with other founders and get that moat back in me.
Yeah.
So a quick background about me. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Took a couple of companies public prior to that on NASDAQ. In 2006, I started a company called Nityo Corporation, which is today about 31,000 employees, working in more than 50 countries. I'm the chairman, founder, and CEO of that company. It is world's largest privately held tech services company. which produced a lot of cash. In 2018, I started a fund called KFC Ventures, which is full form is Karma Free Capital.
Karma
Free Capital.
Love it.
So what does it mean? Karma free means when you give 51% or majority of your income back to society as a philanthropy. You earn $100 and more than 51% you give back to society. That is called karma free, according to Bhagavad Gita, which is Hindu scriptures. So we follow those principles. We are a platform by a founder for the founders. What are the 10 problems a founder will get in their journey? Those are the problems this platform is created to, remove those obstacles or, things which can stop their visions.
Yeah. I knew having you on here, Naveen, we'd go deep. So I love this stuff. So we'll definitely jump into that. But I didn't want to cut you off either. But the 10 problems, we'll come back to that. But go ahead and finish your intro. I love that stuff.
Yeah, my intro is we are a platform for the founders by the founder.
Okay.
So it's a total different way of redefining the venture side.
Okay. I love what you're doing. I love your energy. So we'll talk a little bit more about how you've just built so much and progressed throughout the years. And maybe we'll circle back to the IIT a little bit and talk about that. But again, Abdul is off camera, off mic right now, but he's here. He's chomping at the bit. Like I said, met him at Step, San Francisco. Big personality. He's working on a marketing platform. No, the email. Yeah. So the email thing, and if any of you have issues with your email when you get up in the morning, I love the piece that there's an integration in LinkedIn as well, right?
Yeah, it's email, LinkedIn, and one inbox.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll have him on mic in a minute, but he's going to bring the energy, and we'll talk a little bit more about what he's building. But Mohammad, let's start with you, man. You've done a lot. You're working a lot. You're working with great companies. I think one thing all of us would agree here is relationships are at the foundation of a lot of what we do, right? It's really what we're passionate about. I think that's what we all have in common here. Where was it for you in what you were working on that you realized I need to make that one of the very first value propositions I give to my customers? What was kind of your mindset in going that and building out your career?
Right. Part of accounting and audit profession is business development, right? Or maintaining client relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to maintain long-term relationships, you really have to offer something in return what they're kind of paying for.
Mm-hmm.
So where I really started to add value to to my clients was I wasn't just providing accounting services, but I was also connecting them to investors, to clients, revenue generation, or, getting them involved in networks where they can find extra value. So what started happening is that it started from clients, but they ended up becoming more of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say a lot of my clients are my friends. So when I started doing that, so my kind of principle in life is to kind of give, and then it will come find your way somehow.
Yeah.
So that's why I was doing a lot of these community building where it was just, inviting 25, 30 people for dinner, no agenda, sitting down, enjoying the evening. And that really started to grow. And people, where I really find success is if people want to come over and over again to your events. So I actually started to see that. And that's when I started this community, which is American Founders and Leaders. The whole purpose is to give good experience, have people come, and where they find meaningful conversations. At the same time, it becomes a memorable event.
Yeah.
And when people leave, they're like, "Oh, damn, that was really good," event. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to really make any sort of, income out of it. More of my goal is to create social goodwill.
Yeah, social capital is huge. I want to jump to the other end of the spectrum, and Naveen, I want you to chime in on this. You've seen all perspectives pretty much, or most of the perspectives in business. There's always something to learn. Talk a little bit about, and then I'm gonna have William, you chime in on this, but talk, Naveen, a little bit about your wide perspective and experience on business, is what Mohammad is doing with relationship ring true, and no matter what you do? I mean, you're doing the tax, right? If you kind of put it in a bucket, it's taxes and accounting, right? Is that what you were saying?
Accounting, audit, tax.
Audit, all that. But
Yep.
when you put people first, you stand out, you thrive. Has that been your experience throughout your journey as well?
Yeah, Mohammed said the golden words that my clients are my friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, most of the professionals today, in my view, are entrepreneurs themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So if Mohammed is my client, I see him in my shoe, or William is my client, I see and go out of the way how I can help.
Mm-hmm.
And as he mentioned, I'm doing help, and it will come back. Because you're the most reliable person when I think of who are close to me, whether I'm happy or whether I'm in a trouble. In both the cases, you require a very reliable friend rather than a professional.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the right way to look, the professionalism. That's
Yeah.
the new definition of professionalism, according to me.
I love it. And I think when you provide that first, I mean, trust is the currency. Social capital is really where it all begins, because if you don't have that trust, you're really not going to be trusted with any other resource outside yourself. And you really are relying on others in the startup world. So the fact that you've done this from the beginning, I've been watching you for a while now, and you've been so consistent and so genuine with what you're doing. I wanted to unpack it while you're here. But William, talk about your perspective when it comes to startup and corporate, because you've spent a lot of time in corporate. Let's start with relationships. How have you kind of approached that? I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? Brian, I've been gone for a month. Help me with my words here. I just learned to speak English today.
You're doing great, Brian.
Okay.
Just keep going.
Keep going. All right.
Take a deep breath. Gather your thoughts.
William, relationships from your perspective. Where does
There
it
you
all
go.
begin?
Well done, Brian.
Thanks, buddy.
I mean, personally, I'll say they're incredibly important. And if somebody calls me and asks for help, I will do anything I can to help them, because I believe nothing ever bad comes out of helping someone with good intentions. So I try to set aside a couple of hours a week to maybe work with people that have ideas, whatever it is, just talk to people about my experiences. But when it comes to the corporate relationships, they're very different. There is a shroud of structure around it.
Yeah.
So, you have professional relationships. You do say, we work close together. We've been to war together. No. Once you start a company together, once you lay in bed at night with sweat dribbling down your forehead because you're panicking over you haven't closed a deal, you haven't gotten the investment you need, whatever it is, that team gels.
Yeah.
So I would say that in corporate America, I have lots of people I can rely on in a corporate type manner. But when it comes to really getting down into the details and the emotional experiences of a startup, I would immediately go to an advisor, let's say an investor, or another founder, because they've experienced what I've experienced.
Talk a little bit about how you built your team around that concept.
So we are just a team of three. We have one woman who is phenomenal at marketing. We have one CTO who is just brilliant with what he builds, and then myself, and that's it. We do rely on a lot of other vendors to support us. We have long relationships with them, especially on the dev side. But, as we go outside the company, I recognized advisors were extremely important. So we looked for advisors that actually cared and could help us, not in a transactional manner, like I'll give you equity, you introduce me to an investor. It's more like, sometimes you're going to have to talk me off the ledge, and other times you're going to have to calm me down because I'm going to be way too optimistic over something. And that's what I've realized is you need that sort of relationship.
I love it. Okay.
And that's what I look for.
So I'm going to ask the big question to all of you, and then of course, Abdul, when you're on the mic, I'm going to ask you the same question. You're going to get the first look, so you can really bring it home. So Mohammad, I'm going to start with you. Mm-hmm. You're building these communities. You're crushing it in your business. What is it that you're working on, or what is it that you're doing that you love about building?
Yeah, I think what I really love about building is actually helping others. Mm-hmm. My network has already grown over the last 10, 11 years, being in the Bay Area where I don't really need to do community building because it requires actually a lot of effort. Mm-hmm. Because when I want to do events, I want to make sure that everything is perfect.
Yeah. Right.
Even from the venue to the setup, the people who are attending. So it requires a lot of extra effort. Mm-hmm. And, it's kind of not necessary for me, but I do it so I can try to bring people together on a platform. Mm-hmm. Because, a lot of people are actually looking for good platforms. There's a lot of great communities out there. Yeah. But where I kind of differentiate myself is smaller group, but quality events, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. right? And that's where I want to differentiate between me and kind of the other communities. I mean, there's a lot of big events happening, right? So I'm not like the big event. I'm more of a 120, 140 people type event.
Or small dinner, right, as you mentioned earlier.
Exactly.
Okay. Naveen, again, you've been doing this for a long time, have a lot of different perspectives, built a great company, you're investing now. What keeps you going? What is it about what you're doing that you love so much?
Yeah. I think, I would have retired by now, mm-hmm. as you rightly mentioned. I should not be active. So I read a book called Happiness is in Giving. That's keep me motivating, mm-hmm. To see the world from a different perspective. Mm-hmm. There is part of the world which can't afford 2 times meal even, mm-hmm. right? How you can change and be the agent. And actually, giving is healing.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that. Mm-hmm. Actually, giving is healing yourself.
Yeah.
So I think what keeps me motivating at this point in time is, just focused on how you can help founders in their journey. And whenever you're ready, I'll like to discuss the problems which a founder goes through their journey, mm-hmm. and how we can get this concept of giving is actually healing.
Yeah. I love that.
Okay. So I'm a big go-getter for that.
So years ago, I said, I no longer think, because I'm now hearing you say it, I no longer think I'm crazy. I often thought that business began with forgiving. And it's not like it because it's built on pain, right? There's a lot of pain.
Yes.
And we can't just wait for someone to show up to solve either our personal pain or another. It's us it's the founder who takes the action and provides the kindness, the cure, the product, the service, the friendship, the relationship. It's forgiving is to give before expecting.
Yep.
Forgive. Right. And so I love this idea of that entrepreneurship built on pain, and it's healed through creativity and giving, forgiving. Okay, we could go down a rabbit hole on that one. But William, I want to pivot to you. I mean, you've seen, again, a bunch of different perspectives. Why entrepreneurship? Why startup? What is it that you're doing that you love so much about this?
So at most of the companies, the bigger companies I was at, I was in product development, mm-hmm. and was always trying to bring something new to market. Big companies have very long dev cycles. The first year is usually your budget year. Maybe you get started. Mm-hmm. Second year you build. You may or may not launch on the third year, depending on how complex the build is. And then you've got to go to market. But you have to worry about brand impact and cannibalization and everything else. So it's kind of like, handing a request to an artist and say, write the greatest song ever. But before you do that, here are all the parameters. Mm-hmm. And you begin to get weighed down and you don't really build the thing you wanted to build. And then through your eyes, they're not backing your idea as much as you thought. They're not funding it as much. And you start to get frustrated. And, you know, you go one of two ways. You either kind of become a little resentful and go, okay, I need to do this on my own terms, or you kind of give in to the corporate will. And, you know, when your boss says, axe that product, you go, no problem. And you do the old yeller and you take it out back and you move on. And that's really kind of what motivated me, was to say, you know, I think I'd rather have more insecurity, but more control over the things that I'm pursuing.
I think that's where the passion lies, though, when you have both, right? When you have the pain or the hurt or the concern, the insecurity, but yet this drive to fix it. It's like, I can fix this. I can make a difference. I can change this. And so you have both. And I really believe that's what passion is. It's being able to balance both and letting one drive the other for progression.
Fully agree on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how did you get, so talk a little bit about the time is going quickly. And of course we can go as long as we want with the podcast, right, Brian?
We can go as long as we want. There is no restriction.
So
you have fun.
So William, talk a little bit before, you know, the startup, corporate, what was the beginning like for you? Where did this entrepreneurship spirit come for you? Was there, you know, a family friend? Was it in the family? Are you a generational entrepreneur? Where did this come from?
So
you're smiling and looking up. Here we gotta go.
Well,
get
only
comfortable,
because
everybody.
The reason why is, on the drive up, I was talking to my parents, and I was telling them about this, and they said, "What kind of questions will they ask?" And I said, "Oh, they'll probably say like what kind of a household I came from." And then there was silence on the other side. But Mom and Dad, I'll do you good. I'll do you solid here. My parents really, really encouraged, just try stuff.
Yeah.
Just do stuff. There was never anything like, you know, oh, this is what one should do. It was like, I remember one time my father wanted to show us a bee's nest or a hive. So he took the top off and the bees just bit the hell out of him. But it was quite an experience for us as little kids. Another time I watched my father blow up a centrifugal clutch in the garage because he was explaining centrifugal forces. So it was like, there was always this, do you want to build a go-kart?
Yeah.
Here's 100 feet of pipe and here's an arc welder. Go to it, and you'll need some grinders too. So it was really just, we just built all the time and we created things. And, you know, my father was a big fan of like, you got to break down a problem in order to solve it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I've taken that on. I build my own furniture without drawings. Just
figure
anything,
it out.
Figure it out. That's right. And I've done the same thing with my boys, which is like, you want to do boy things and break stuff? Awesome. Let's do that, you know, and just let them pursue what they want, let them fail, and make sure you do the post-mortem when you fail, because that's where the learnings come from. So I've shared all successes and failures around the dinner table with my family.
Looking back over your journey, and I'm going to have the question for you too, Naveen and Mohammad and Abdul. I'm going to have these questions for you too, because I really think this is where the character of an entrepreneur is built. But looking back over your career, you know, you're in the process of building a company right now. For our listeners, what has been some of those high-level insights that you have learned from your journey? We're going to talk about the 10 problems coming up. Naveen's going to give us a little insight on that. But if you were to have kind of this journey insight of an entrepreneur, corporate America, coming up in a family that said, hey, just build and figure it out, what are those key characteristics that you think really stood out for you?
One was definitely to be comfortable failing. And I would argue that most successful people have more failures behind them than successes. You only need one success.
Yeah.
The other thing is, you'll never do this alone. You know, again, like without good advisors and investors.
Back to the relationship.
Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then the last one is, you know, keep the poison away. So whatever, like if there's someone that you're like, oh, I'm not sure if they're a good fit, they're probably not a good fit. Because again, everybody has to bond really tight. Yeah. And if you don't get the right person in, it can throw everybody else off. I mean, it's like a band.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you switch drummers and it's a different band. So it's really about, you've got to make sure when you finally let someone in, you have to be committed to that relationship. You can't say things like, well, if it doesn't work out, I'll just change it.
Yeah.
You don't have the time to wait for it to turn out. You have to make sure you've got the right person and then work with them.
Yeah.
Because there's idiosyncrasies with everybody and you have to accept that and work with it. But overall, you need to know that if you are going into battle, everyone is around you to support you and you support them.
Yeah,
and that's what you need.
There's such a unique dynamic there in sense of don't be afraid to fail, break everything, learn, but at the same time, within yourself, to keep the poison out, you have to have strong boundaries, right? Or convictions or integrity. Yeah. So there's such a crazy dynamic, but so fascinating. You won't have a mic in front of your face, but we're going to go to break in a second. But tell people how they connect with you. Tell me a little bit more about what you're building, because I definitely want those who are listening to know how they can learn more about you and, of course, get a little insight of what you're building.
So first of all, they can go to shoeboxiq.com. Anybody who wants to reach out to me, it's william@shoeboxiq.com. But we really focus on audit preparation, which is the hardest part when you're trying to do an audit. So just for those who haven't gone through an audit, the IRS will send you a letter. It's going to ask for many, many documents in order to justify what you put in your return. And that can take many, many months. We use AI to semantically search through all documents to find the most relevant one with the highest accuracy. So CPAs and tax lawyers and even consulting firms can very quickly build a strategy, set parameters, pull all the documents, and have a response for the IRS or the state.
And internal auditors.
And, absolutely. And internal audit is the
CFO
next product we plan to launch.
Nice. Okay. Well, when we come back, we're going to bring Abdul in. We're also going to hear from Naveen and Mohammad. We're going to ask him the same question. Where did this all start for you guys? And of course, why do we love doing what we're doing? And we're going to continue this conversation on building. Brian, we're halfway there. Take us to the boat. All right. We're back in the second part of the hour. We're here with Mohammad, William, Naveen, and Abdul is live now on the mic. Abdul, thanks for joining us, buddy. You get a chance to kind of watch for a while now. You've been chomping at the bit, and now you're in the action. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, so real quick, we're going to get you in the game, but we definitely want to let our audience know a little bit about you. So give your little 30-second intro about who you are and what you're working on, because I'm excited. I met you at STEP. Right? Keep talking about STEP, San Francisco.
Yep.
But yeah, give a little intro on what you've been working on.
Awesome, man. I'm Abdul. For the past 15 years, I've been in tech. And I've been trying to build different companies, either B2C, B2B. And the latest one is called Master Inbox. And we help currently agencies and sales reps never miss a client reply. So we do that by combining email and LinkedIn into one inbox. So no matter where you're having your conversations across which platforms, your client replies are always top of mind, and you can never miss them.
Yeah, you're a sales guy.
No, actually, I've been a product guy. I've learned sales throughout my life naturally. Okay. I don't think everybody says I'm a sales guy, and I always perceive it as I've never done sales or learned sales.
You're natural. This is you, raw. Yeah.
I love what we were talking about before, right? Which is, so I have a different perspective on the helping, and I think I'll get into that. Yeah. So maybe mine's very more polarizing.
Yeah, let it rip. Go ahead. You can just roll right into it right now.
So I don't actually believe when I sit down and talk to somebody, my first thought is not helping. Again, very polarizing, because I think help is a very surface level word, in my opinion. So my ideology is that I want to learn every single day. So the reason why I build is I learn every single day to gain a foundational knowledge for myself. And then with that knowledge, I want to impart on someone else that whole foundation. So then I can change their perspective of the world that they have around them or the world that they live in. So helping is helping them open a door in their world. Foundational giving is that you actually change the world that they even live in. So their whole perspective changes and they realize, wait, I didn't even need to go through that door. Like there is literally a space right beside that wall I could walk around.
Yeah.
So that's what I believe in.
Okay. Naveen, I think this is where we're going to go down a rabbit hole because I love this. And the reason why I love this is because as an entrepreneur, you need to empathetically understand what people need, right? A lot of founders sympathetically provide what they think people need. And the difference is this, is what you're saying is empathetically. You've understood where their world sits from their perspective,
Correct.
Not what I think they need. And those could be two different doors, and that's what I'm hearing you saying. Yeah. And I could be helping open the door that I think you need as opposed to empathetically opening the door that they really need.
Or the one they've asked
blew my
for.
mind. Thank you. Brian, perfect timing. Naveen, are we tapping in this help thing here? What are you hearing?
Yeah, I mean, as he mentioned, in my view, if I see from a founder perspective and society at large, these are the two space I can comment on. So coming to founders, what are the top, forget about 10 problems, what are the top 3 problems? Brian, today you have a great idea today. Now, 65 to 80% of the time of a founder goes in raising capital, not on the product, not on the market. So how you can ease that particular process is the foundation of any startup. When there is go to seed, to series A, to series B, to series H, I've seen they're worried about next. Once they go IPO, I've seen pre-IPO companies, IPO companies, then they say, how do we take our stock price right? So this is the journey of 90% of the founders. And it's called 0 to 1 and 1 to infinity. These are two different roles one has to understand, from the day one.
Yeah, give us a little distinction between the two.
So 0 to 1 is, let's say Mohammad is a great founder, right? He knows how to take the company from 0 to 1. Per se, he might not be the fit guy to take the company from 1 to infinity, which is a total different skill set, which is very organized, very system oriented,
The 1 to infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, where you require corporate CEOs. Founders are not fit for that. They cannot live in that culture, right? So I invested into a company called 1 to Infinity, right?
Yeah.
Which is basically when the founder think he's done, they take care from there.
Got it. Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Go ahead.
And I can just add that from an accounting point of view. I mean, we're working with a lot of private companies, like you said, when they're going public, the founder or even just the accounting team might not be a good fit for being a public company. That's where we kind of come in and suggest you need SEC reporting team, right? Somebody who has experience working on public companies, even with the CFO. The CFO might not have public company investor relations experience. So I think that kind of rule applies, in that journey.
So let me ask all of you. Let me just kind of drop this question. What I feel that we're stumbling upon here is in the building of a company from 0 to 1 to infinity. There's constant iterations of what that company to become. There's constant pivot points. There's change. There's variations, and a founder isn't expected to know everything. And so, what does it take within the leading team? Or the leader, founder, CEO, whatever it may be, in order to grow into those areas that they may not know about. Like, if a founder wants to start a business and they don't know how to do the numbers, they don't know how to go to market, they don't know how to IPO, what do they need to do? Do they need to bring in more advisors? They need to figure it out themselves? What is the approach? What is the advice? Naveen, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was talking about 3 ingredients which a founder needs today is capital, great team, global team. You cannot rely on US. always. The best of the best of the best brains can exist in other parts of the world. So how global is your team? How much globalization you bring and hire one of the best teams, core teams.
Even in the early phases you're talking about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The guy might be, sitting in Warsaw, Poland, or might be sitting in Costa Rica, or might be sitting in India or Vietnam. It doesn't matter. How you can onboard one of the best teams in the world from day one, right? So that is the first part of the problem. Second part of the problem after capital, you need to great product development, cohesive team. And the third part of the problem is go to market. Who are your 10 beta customers? Who will give you that? So at KFC Ventures, that is the top 3 problems we give in a box from day one.
So let me ask that. That's a 2-part question I want to follow up on. So 2 things. One, when you're looking for a company that's fundable, you're looking for high quality in those 3 areas, right? Well, obviously they're coming to you for the capital, but those other 2, team and go-to-market strategy. But what I'm hearing you saying is it's so important. You're doubling down on it with your.
We are tripling down. We will give you the client, we'll give you the capital, and we will give you the teams. Nityo Corporation has 29 countries software development labs today. So, a talent which is existing in Ukraine to Warsaw, Poland, to Slovakia, to Costa Rica, to Mexico, right? And any part of Asia. You want to hire 2 to 3% of the best brains in the world.
So let me ask a question. Okay, so we're doing a panel. In fact, I'm going to ask you live. Do you want to be on this panel? It's Thursday. And all of you, I want you to chime in on this. There's talent and then there's AI. Should we be substituting AI for talent, or should we be pursuing that talent or AI? There we go. I don't know what that means, but go ahead.
All right. So that was for, a very tricky question. That's why it came. So in my view, you require the best talent. They can be empowered by AI.
Got it. Yeah.
You are running and somebody gives you a bicycle to go to airport.
Right.
So your destination will become easier, right? More comfortable. And that is what developers are doing.
Love it.
Right. So absolutely you require the best talent, and there'll be always demand for the best talent in the world.
Got it. Okay, that was great. Okay, so I'm going to come back to you, but I would definitely want to add, Abdul, as you're building your team, what is it that you're looking for? Does this ring true as you're building out your team?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I can't speak from 1 to infinity, but I can speak to 0 to 1.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Got it. That's
so 1 to infinity. I'll look for you.
Yes.
Absolutely, any day. So the global team. It's funny because that's 15 years I said I've been tech, and 15 years from the time I found somebody on Freelancer. I actually have been working with them till today, and now that is our whole dev team. It's in Bangladesh. And we own the offices, we own the place, that's where we are. And it's remote, but they come to work. So I don't know how to explain this, but it's remote, but they come to work, right? So
and that's called ethical work.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but the idea is that, right? You're right. You have to find the smartest people around the world, and it's okay that it's around the world. You have to look past your view of the world that you have created, basically.
So I may have missed this, but is this your first company?
No,
it's not.
Probably my 4th or 5th. Yeah,
Your 4th of his.
and fourth that's done well. I think there's many failures before this.
So what have you learned along that journey in terms of finding talent from your first company to this company? Has it changed?
What's interesting is all of them have been the same team. I've just kept on hiring.
Wow.
It's been the craziest
Reliability.
Reliability, exactly. So trust and reliability. And look, you know what it started with? It started with me in high school going and saying, hey man, I have this real estate agent that needs to make this customized form that I don't know how to build. And I don't have any money to front and give it to you. I'll sell it to him and it's $500. I'll give you $300 for this. Would you be willing to do it? Would you trust me that you will give me the code and I will go do this and I'll come back and give you the money? And he said, yeah, fine. And that's how it started.
Yeah.
And you won't believe, last company I sold was in 2022 to private equity, and like that's the same team, man. And I know their families. We've traveled together. We are like, I mean, the cliche of like we're a family. I get it. No, we're still a team. Right? We're not family. We're still a team. Right? There's still rules. There's still regulations. There's still, but we know each other in and out. We fight. We come together. We know each of our problems, and we're there for each other to solve them. So I think, you have to find your people. You have to find that tribe. Yeah, and it's hard.
It kind of reminds me what William was saying earlier about the values, convictions, boundaries, and I mean, I know you're off mic now, William, but this kind of goes to the three principles that you were talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the other thing I would add to it is, if you're in the CEO position, you really have to be humble and recognize the talents of everybody else, and don't steamroll them.
Yeah. So what he's saying just off mic is he's actually I'm hearing a little Ray Dalio being hungry, humble, and smart all at the same time, and kind of weaving that together as the CEO. Is that what I'm hearing you saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. But Mohammad, I want to kind of have you come on this. You're seeing a lot of talent come in through your network,
Right.
and when you bring together such high quality people, this is a great, I guess, for a lack of a better term, farming experience so that people can build together. I mean, you said you can't do it alone. That was one of the three things. You can't do it alone. And so are you seeing people when they come together in your community teaming up into a venture?
Yeah, I mean, I can even speak more from my professional career perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, so when I joined BDO back in 2018, BDO being fifth largest firm at that time, accounting firm, we were still building up the accounting advisory practice for them from scratch. So I was the first one there in the West region at BDO. And I kind of built up the entire team to 15 people within a year. So that's obviously, when you're building teams, right, you got to look for good chemistry. Because it's sometimes it's not really about what the experience they have, it's the work ethics and the chemistry. If they're willing to put in more effort and you get along with them, it's going to go much far along than if you hire someone who has great experience but really don't have work ethics, and you'll always be butting heads with, right? So if you look, I mean, even till today, a lot of the team that I hired at BDO, they're still working with me. Even I'm at a different firm, CohnReznick. And then coming back to, finding talent other places outside of U.S. I mean, a lot of the accounting firms have offshore offices, right? India, Philippines, South Africa. These are all great locations, and they're amazing people. So a lot of my great talent sits in India. So that allows us to also operate 24/7. So meaning, like when we're doing a lot of SEC clients, I have team working at my evening time in India, and then when I wake up, the product is ready.
Yeah.
Right? So it kind of helps from all different angles.
Yeah, it's 24/7.
Yeah.
Practically, you are changing the entire cycle into 24/7. That is what. And talent is not talent, it's fluid talent. At the end of the day,
You said fluent talent.
yes.
Oh, I love that term. Okay, go ahead. I want to know more about what that means. Fluid talent.
Which means that you, in the AI age, you cannot be restricted to a country, right? Or to a place or to the formal offices. Great people are across the globe. So you need to see everything from day one from a global perspective. I have companies which didn't know a bank called Metro Bank. Today they are selling 1 million worth of software. In their plan for next 10 years, there was no bank called Metro Bank. But in the second year, they are getting that customer. They were not having Slovakia in their roadmap to get one of the very good backend engineers. But today they have a team of backend engineers there. So when you see, the world as one place or a large village, right? That is where you imagine that where is the best talent is available.
Yeah.
That's why it's called fluid talent, borderless talent.
So you have a lot of insights into this. I want to ask you a little bit, two things. This is a two-parter. I said for our audience, I was going to come back to this. But you talked about the 10 problems, right? Give us about 3, but yet let's go back further first. you've gotten that insight over through your faith and through your journey. Where did this all begin for you? Did you have a similar upbringing to William, where Dad said, "Go out and figure it out. Here's a blowtorch. Go light something on fire. Go have fun, right? Build stuff." Where did it all begin for you?
My parents were professors, so I grew up in an environment where engineering was the way back in India. For boys, which wants to be successful, it was engineering. For girls, it was doctor. So that is how we grew up. So grown up in a very comfortable environment. And, I knew I wanted to do computer science, graduated, and then came through a usual process of going, through the software development cycle. And then in 1998, I came to US, and from there the journey started. The entrepreneurial bug, we had a great successful.
And you started in Silicon Valley?
In Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
In Silicon Valley.
Where did you land? Like, what gave you the bug? Where did you catch the bug?
Great project, good technology. .com was booming.
It was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, you go to the gas station and .com was there and everything. Yeah.
Go to Starbucks and people would like to listen to your conversation and say, "Can
everywhere.
I put 50 grand?" The taxi driver will say, "Sorry."
That's a nice problem to have.
Yes, that's a wonderful problem to have.
And so, where did the top 10 problems? Give us about 3 of them.
Yeah.
That you see founders struggling with, because I'm assuming if they can't overcome these problems, they're not fundable.
Yeah, they are not fundable. So we recently invested into a very good platform called Synaxis. You give an idea, it will tell you whether this will be successful or not. So don't waste much of your time. Who are your competitors? What is the competitive landscape? And I'll introduce you to the founder, Dr. Powell.
I think I know him. He's
Yes,
a good friend of mine. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So Dr. Powell, we recently gone on to, and it's an amazing platform what he's trying to build up. So any founder who comes to us, we tell them to go to Synaxis and try to find it out. What is the landscape? You yourself analyze yourself. After you are a good idea, according to you, right, you can test it through various platforms. Synaxis is one of them. You require the capital, and are you fundable?
Yeah.
Great teams at a global level. If you don't have great people working at a global level or at local level, even for that matter, to start with, it's a big problem, because the next problem is product market fit, right? Which you can test with 10 beta customers. Who are those 10 beta customers? Who is taking you there? If you try to get a CRO or head of sales or head of marketing, that won't work 92% of the cases in startups.
Yeah.
So what are the platforms, where you can go, try, work it out? So that is the third problem, is go to market. The fourth problem is, if you're co-founder, how is the segregation of duties between the co-founders?
So just let me recap a second. So one is your team, right? Go to market.
Funding. Are you fundable?
Are you fundable? Yeah.
Funding. Are you having one of the best teams for your product?
And I love how you're emphasizing knowledge within the team that has global skill set, not just local, because you can have founder fit in a market, but that doesn't mean they have global experience.
Correct.
So I like that perspective. Brian, look at my face. I'm blown away.
Oh gosh, Brian, you caught me days.
Come on, get in the game, Brian. All right, go ahead.
I'm sorry,
You blew my mind.
Yeah, the fourth thing is go to market.
Yeah.
Product market fit. Are you product market fit? And fifth one is, who are your top beta customers? Right? Who is trusting you? Who is giving you the chance?
Yeah.
Is it the Fortune 500 companies? It is the Fortune 2000 customers? Or is it the SMB you would like to test the product?
Yeah.
We have founders which are working with one of the $1 trillion companies, great product. They came to us, this is our idea. Idea is approved. MVP is ready. Now what next?
Yeah.
They have no idea. They can build smartest products.
So Abdul, I want to ask you, are you seeing this in your journey? I mean, this being your, fourth company,
Yeah.
does this resonate? Go-to-market, team, fundability?
So for me, I think aside from fundability, right? So we have a different maybe ideology in there. So I believe in selling before building, right?
Mm-hmm.
After all these failures and some successes. So before this one, a master inbox, what I did was I go to market first. So like I agree with everything else, right?
Yeah.
So and I think I still do agree with number one. It just depends on what type of company you're building. But what I did from day one was this. I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And this idea actually came from Step to Buy. So this is a longer story, but I built something else totally. I built an outbound software, which is what I built previously. I was at Step to Buy this year, and I was selling that outbound software. In a different tab while I was talking to people, I had this inbox for myself to manage conversations for the attendees that were there. And it was just email LinkedIn in that inbox. It was really janky HTML page just for myself. Somebody in the audience was like, hey man, screw your outbound software. There's 300 of them. I want that inbox. So I changed my pitch. I said, oh, wait a second. What do you want? And I asked him, he said, I want email, LinkedIn, and WhatsApp in one place so I can reply back to all my customers. And I said, okay, very interesting. Mm-hmm. And I changed my pitch, and I think I talked to 300 people that like 5 hours. And out of 300 people, I think about 75% of them were like, dude, this is interesting. Interesting. Not I would pay for it. Interesting. 1 month, I thought about it. I closed down the other startup, which I'd started 60 days ago. I think we were at 170K ARR. I returned money. I said, you know what? Let's go to LinkedIn. No following on LinkedIn, probably 800 people. Went to LinkedIn and said, hey guys, listen, this is what I'm going to build. And I told the idea, LinkedIn, it's going to be LinkedIn and email in one place. And I got the same problem. Everybody says, I'm interested. Nobody's willing to buy, but I'm interested. Yeah. So there's so many conversations, and I thought I'm going to sell to founders. So the GTM comes very true. When I had conversations with them, I put in an opt-in form, said, okay, now give me your name and email. All right, give me your name and email. After the opt-in, I put in a pricing page. Mm-hmm. So I remember going to sleep, just said, dude, there's nothing built. There's a video of me talking about this problem that I'm going to build in the next 30 days, and I'm promising people. And this is April, like first week of April, by the way. And I went to sleep. I put it up for $99, and I said, hey, guys, like if you really believe in this problem, there. And I posted on LinkedIn, go to sleep. Next morning, I wake up, 3 people have purchased. So wait a second, 3 people have purchased something that does not exist. Okay, so that means the problem is real. But here's where the interesting insight is. I thought I was selling to founders. The people who purchased were agencies. I called up every single person because in that intake form I had their phone numbers. I was on the phone with them talking for hours. And why did you purchase? What is the real pain points? What is the workflow? How do you solve it today? So go-to-market is more important than anything, I believe. Of course, having a team. What are you going to build if you go to market?
Yeah,
don't have a great
more trust team. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, I definitely want to double down on that. But Mohammad, I want to ask you the question. I'm going to obviously have this question for everyone else here. What's next for you? What are you working on in the next 6 days, 6 months, 7 weeks? What's kind of on the horizon for you?
I mean, I have a couple of responses. First is on my professional side, right? On the accounting side, I've been on a long journey for 17 years. I started my career in Canada, moved here 11 years ago, and became partner earlier this year. Mm-hmm. So for me, is to kind of keep servicing my clients, really build up into this IPO space that I've been kind of mastering for the last, I would say, 5-6 years, and try to grow my team. So when I joined CohnReznick last year, we had literally no team here. Mm-hmm. And we built it up. Right now, we have 2 offices now in the Bay Area. CohnReznick is very big in the East Coast. We're about 5,000 people firm. So for me, is to kind of keep building our presence, keep doing these events, and, seeing what comes next in terms of opportunities. Obviously, I've kind of called myself capital markets expert, even though I do accounting advisory as well. So my goal would be to work on Fortune 100 companies. Okay. So, I mean, we are a mid-sized firm, but that's kind of the goal. Get there.
And how can people learn a little bit more about American founders and leaders?
So we are building a website on it. We do have a WhatsApp channel, which is for American founders and leaders. So started this again like 3-4 months ago. Mm-hmm. And the way, I have people on that channel is I vet them. So I pretty much vet every person that comes on that group. Because we want to make sure that it becomes high caliber, meaningful conversations. We're not wasting anybody's time. At the same time, we started doing these events. We had the founder, so we called it the FounderFuel dinner, which was our inaugural event on August 14th. The next one is going to be in December. I would love to have you all.
Sure.
We are still, finalizing the venue, but it's going to be in San Francisco. But our goal is to make every next event better than the previous one. So that means is also in terms of location as well.
Okay. I got a venue for you out in Oakland, California. You got to come check out. It's pretty amazing. At 1900 Broadway, Stack Ventures. Have you been out there yet, by the way?
It's on my list.
Okay. All right. Once you see it, you're going to be blown away. So let me ask Naveen, what's next for you?
Yeah, we are always continuously looking towards the entire ecosystem of founders and putting the globalization mind, not only for talent, but GTM. Your customers are global. In the age of AI, how we can embed that particular mindset to the founders, where we guide them, where we advise them, and where we invest. That is what we are trying to emphasize in next 3 to 5 years. We have seen in Valley, people are very narrow focused, and in most of the countries.
Yeah.
How to bridge that gap of globalization, both from talent and GTM perspective.
Oh, that's good stuff. Because that's a whole other episode around go to market. So I love that you're talking about, and I'd love to sit with you at some point and learn the other 6 problems. So we'll talk about that. You're gonna write a book on that, by the way. It's coming. It's coming. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So Abdul, what's next for you?
Look, I have to answer like a founder, right? So it's just my life. So about 836 more customers. That's what the next 18 months holds.
836 more customers.
And they come from a batch of 40,000 people that are customers of our current partners. So people that we've integrated with, that we're doing events with, they're already their customers and they're our perfect ICP. So what we're doing is we're saying, hey, we're doing events with them. They're introducing us to their customers. And from that group of 40,000 that they have in between 7 partners, we only want 836 right now. That's our goal.
That's possible.
That's possible.
Absolutely.
Very well possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I definitely, and we're on track right now. I think, on Step SF, before I went on stage, I closed a customer right there before I went on stage. 2 minutes before, and I have the timestamps for this. 2 minutes of getting on stage.
A real magician.
And after getting off, we closed another one. Exactly.
And you got you got that from winning the night before, right?
So no. So this was that's the night I'm talking about. When I went up, when 15 people were pitching.
Yeah.
So I wasn't. People were asking me, "Where's your laptop?" And I was like, "I don't care. I'm talking to my customers. I don't. This is the last thing I need to care about right now."
Yeah.
So while they were talking, I replied back, and the guy said paid. He didn't even do a demo. Wow. So I went on and pitched, and then after we talked, before I walked out, we had another customer that said, "Hey man, I'm really interested. I actually, saw your post."
Yeah.
And all my customers are inbound from LinkedIn.
So how can people connect with you? Because I know people listening right now are going to want to know more.
Absolutely, LinkedIn. I post every single day just about my journey, what I'm doing, my customers, who I talk to, people like yourselves.
And where are you based?
I'm based in Northern Virginia, but I'm constantly in and out of.
That's right. You were going to fly home last night, and you stayed an extra day, right?
That is correct. So I'm
Brian,
going tonight.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Staying for the impact.
Silicon Valley impact. I mean, we've got the draw. We're the center of gravity in Silicon Valley.
You just can't escape the orbit of Silicon Valley impact. Naveen,
Viewer discretion is advised.
Yes, say that again. Naveen, how can people connect with you?
Yeah, I mean, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. That's the best way. Or, you can drop me an email, naveen@nityo.com.
Okay. And last but not least, Mohammad, how can people connect with you and get involved with American founders and leaders?
My email is mohammad.hasham@KohnReznick.com. I also have an email for American founders, which is mohammad@americanfounders.co. And LinkedIn is the best source to connect with me. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn, so you know it, Brian.
Yeah.
So Yep.
It's good. Find all these guys on LinkedIn, and I want to thank you all for being here. I know we had a full house, but I feel like you're all each an episode. But the fact that you were here talking a little bit about what you're working on is exciting, and I loved having you here. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us here.
All right, and William, just off camera, buddy. Thanks for coming, Brian. Yeah, wave. There it is.
I was trying to get William to wave over here to the camera. There you go. Thank you. All right.
All right, everybody. Take care. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.